1019 KACQ.
I'm Casey Chapman here with your local Lampasas area news. It was another relatively quiet day for LPD. Yesterday, officers were sent out on a reported theft in the 400 block of South Ray Street and had to cool off a couple of disturbances. One in the 700 block of South Broad, the other a domestic service on Castleberry. A harassment complaint came in from the 1200 block of East Avenue F, and a theft was reported in the 500 block of North Key just after 9 o'clock last night. 23-year-old Noel Ismail Graves Medina of Lampasas was arrested in the 800 block of North Key for DWI, injury to an elderly, possession of a controlled substance, criminal mischief, and resisting arrest. The county booked in a 39-year-old Lampasas man, a 35-year-old Cove woman, and a 25-year-old Lomita man, all for DWIs. A 47-year-old Coppell woman and a 19-year-old Temple man for possession of marijuana, and a 51-year-old Bangs man for possession of a controlled substance. Lomita went out on a suicidal call, swept up a wreck, and had an animal complaint. Kemner went out on a call of threat, settled a disturbance, worked the theft case, and responded to a report of a stolen vehicle and a shots fired call. County deputies worked a civil matter, cleared a wreck, went out on a noise complaint, cooled down a disturbance, and were sent out to Cove on a harassment call and a livestock issue. The burn ban has been lifted until the 19th. And coming up next, last Friday's district court results and City Manager Finley talking about our recent COVID spike and talk of maybe a drive-in movie for Lampasas County.
There's nothing like a Ford, and there's no better place to get yourself driving that new Ford like Hoffbauer Ford in Lampasas. With many different vehicles to choose from, with the best prices in Central Texas, with the highest quality and friendliest service center that takes care of you and your car for years to come. Don't wait any longer. Check them out at 902 North Key Avenue in Lampasas, or go online to hford.com. See their inventory, value your trade-in, and take advantage of their local pickup and delivery. Or call Spencer McKnight at 512-556-3631. Get yourself driving your new ride today. There's nothing like a Ford.
Let's go, Let's go!
The 27th District Court docket call last Friday had 10 cases before it. Of the 10 cases, 5 were settled. Mindy Evans of Mullen pled guilty and received 3 years probation plus costs for possession of a controlled substance. Christopher Sanchez, on the charge of evading arrest with a vehicle, had a charge reduced to evading arrest and was sentenced to 2 days in county jail with credit for 2 days plus cost. Ezekiel Cintron, originally charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, had his charges reduced to assault causing bodily injury and was sentenced to 60 days in county jail plus cost. Dwayne Walker, on the charge of criminal mischief, had an order barring prosecution, and one on a charge of DWI third or more was sentenced to a 4-year prison term. The remainder of the cases were reset or had trials set for a future date. If you're receiving unemployment benefits, be prepared to show that you're looking for work. Stephen Pickering explains.
The Texas Workforce Commission had dropped the work search requirement back in March as businesses across the state shut down because of COVID-19 and the unemployment rate went up dramatically. The commission has voted to reinstate that work requirement effective November 1st. The agency says people who are unemployed will continue to receive their benefits, but will have to show they're making an active effort to find a new job. The executive director of the commission says the state is not over COVID-19, but employment opportunities are beginning to bounce back as businesses reopen. Stephen Pickering, TSN News.
City Manager Finley DeGraffenry was here this morning in the studio with Ronnie Witcher, and they spoke a little on Lampasas County and COVID.
City Manager Finley DeGraffenry in our studio on a Wednesday morning, as always. First of all, the COVID-19 report. This is getting worse all over the state, all over the country. The numbers are going up. How are we doing in Lampasas?
Well, we report, I believe we found saw a report last night that there are 39 active cases in Lampasas County.
Wow.
And one thing that, again, this is kind of second-hand passed down from our county health official, but a number of these represent multi-generational households where you may have 2 or 3 or 4 people in the household that have tested positive. There's currently, I believe, 1 hospitalization, and so we're just kind of holding on to that. This has been somewhat of a spike, but again, I think the qualifier is the number of folks that have tested positive within a household.
But
in some cases.
Isn't that a peak, maybe the highest we've seen? Or?
I don't know that it's the highest we've seen, but it's certainly the highest we've seen here recently. I mean, we were averaging like between 15 and 25, so this does represent more cases than we've been reporting on recently.
Also talk about a drive-in movie.
In spite of COVID-19, Lampasas continues to expand or at least change its face. One curious thing that pops up in our news is the discussions anyway on the possibility of some kind of drive-in movie for the youth of Lampasas.
Right.
Just talking, but what in the world kind of an idea is that? Tell us what the council's thinking about.
And it's an idea that was that has come through the Parks and Rec department and the park board, and typically every year the city will show movies at Brook Park. We'll show them at Hannah Springs swimming pool, and of course none of that happened this year. And so the idea was hatched, well, maybe, could we do a drive-in movie?
Well, my fingers are crossed. I love the movies. Stick around, your COVID update, and if COVID and the flu weren't bad enough, it's West Nile season. Those details coming up next.
Great Clips introduces the Great Clips Promise, great hair, great care. At Great Clips, they are committed to helping keep everyone as safe and comfortable as possible in the salon. They care about the well-being of customers and stylists, which is why they've created the Great Care Promise. The Great Care Promise includes mask requirements for both stylists and customers, adherence to governing guidelines, online check-in and ready next text alerts, and more. Come on in for a great haircut. We're ready for you.
Early voting continues today and runs through the 30th. Mail-in ballots must be requested by next Friday, the 23rd. In Lampasas, you can cast your ballots from 8 to 5 in the County Annex Conference Room. That's at 409 South Pecan Street. Rolandsbrook will be having free drive-through flu shots tomorrow from 3 to 7 for anyone who is 6 months or older, and that is while supplies last. For your COVID-19 update, active cases of the virus in Texas topped the 77,000 mark, and that is up 2,000 from the previous day. The fatality count in the state remains over 16,000. Around the region, Bell County is holding at 5,801 total cases. Coryell County added 10, showing 1,912, with 82 of those being active cases inside the Coppers Cove city limits. Burnett added another 10 with 811. Mills is up 1 at 66. San Saba up 1 as well with 102, and Hamilton up a couple with 172 total cases. Here locally, Lampasas County is reporting 384 total cases. Active cases remain steady at 39 and 1 remains hospitalized. The number of fatalities stands at 11 and 334 county residents have recovered from the virus so far. If COVID and the flu weren't bad enough, we are now in the heart of the West Nile season.
So far this year, more than 12 Texas counties have reported a trace of West Nile. A new study done at Texas Tech shows that mitigation efforts are falling short. Steve Presley, who heads the Institute of Environmental and Human Health, tested to see if insecticides were working on mosquitoes.
2/3 of the mosquitoes showed resistance to the insecticides.
He says mosquitoes have been building up immunity to the insecticides because some Texas counties use the same ones year after year. The study, he says, shows how important it is to switch it up from season to season. Michael Board, TSN News.
Free COVID testing is going on again this week at the Killeen Special Event Center from 9 to 7 and on Saturday from 11 to 5. You can register at gogettested.com. Stick around, your sports and Allison Pope with your weather is just moments away.
Tired of paying a lot for insurance? Then go see the agents at Diversified Insurance. Diversified is an independent agency offering many insurance carriers to choose from, including Hoheim Prairie. Whether you need auto, home, liability, or business, maybe even life and health insurance, you can count on Gerald Adams, Shasta May, and Lisa Banda to find the perfect insurance fit for you. Go by their office, 1305 South Key, or give them a call, 512-556-3427, Diversified Insurance.
Si habla español.
Go Lampasas Badgers from Diversified Insurance.
You're looking at a sunny and fairly hot day today with temperatures heating to 91. You will, however, get in some south winds to cool you down, a little between 5 to 15 miles per hour. Clear skies for you tonight with temperatures bottoming out at 67. It'll be a mix of clouds and sun for you tomorrow, with temperatures peaking at 82. Increasing clouds later in the night with temperatures dropping to 53. And it'll be a sunny day Friday with a high near 69 and temperatures dropping to 49. This is Allison Pope with your local Lampasas area weather. Have a good day.
For your sports, Lady Badger Volleyball was in Gatesville yesterday. The varsity did lose in 3, JV won in 3, and the freshmen lost in 3. Badger Varsity Football hits the road this Friday night to take on rival team the Burnett Bulldogs. If you can't get tickets to the game, tune in to Lampasas Radio or listen online at lampasasradio.com as Kenny Murray and Daryl Brooks give you the play-by-play action live. With the pregame show at 7, kickoff at 7:30. Tune in at 7:45 Friday morning for the Badgers Coaches Show on KACQ 1019.